Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next exciting, thrilling, ebullient, and effervescent episode of the Saturnine and taciturn and insipid reading cow from another world with inimical bedtime stories for the baby thing show that this is. And today we bring you the fabulous, the inevitable, the irreproachable, the irrevocable Simulcra and Simulation, which is a 1981 philosophical treatise by Jean Baudrillard, in which the author seeks to examine the relationships between reality, symbols, society, and society. In particular, the significations and the symbolisms of culture and media involved in constructing an understanding of shared existence. Simulcra are copies that depict things that either had no original or that no longer have an original. Simulation is the imitation of the operation of a real-world process or system over time. Think about it, folks. Simulcra are copies that depict things that either had no original or no longer have an original, like Donald Trump. Simulation is the imitation of the operation of a real-world process or system over time, like, what we have today. Okay, definition. Let's get down to the meat of things. The simulacrum is never that which conceals the truth. It is the truth which conceals that there is none. The simulacrum is true. The quote is credited to Ecclesiastes, but the words have not occurred there. Think about it. It can be seen as an addition, a paraphrase, and an endorsement of Ecclesiastes' condemnation of the pursuit of wisdom as folly and a chasing after wind. See, for example, Ecclesiastes 1.17, and we're going to get to that, folks. Ecclesiastes is important. Everybody should be familiar with it. But not today. We're going to go there. It's not for the birds. The Birds did a song about it, but that's another story. Okay. Simulcra and Simulation is most known for its discussion of symbols and signs and how they relate to contemporaneity, simultaneous existences. Baudrillard claims that our current society has replaced all reality and meaning with symbols and signs, and that human experience is a simulation of reality. Moreover, these simulacra are not merely mediations of reality, nor even deceptive mediations of reality. They are not based in a reality, nor do they hide a reality. They simply hide that nothing like reality is relevant to our current understanding of our lives. The simulacra that Baudrillard refers to are significations and symbolism of culture and media that construct perceived reality, the acquired understanding by which our lives and shared existence is and are rendered legible. Baudrillard may have taken all these ideas from the first pages of Guy Debord's 1967 La Société du Spectacle, the Society of the Spectacle. Baudrillard believed that society has become so saturated with these simulacra, and our lives so saturated with the constructs of society, that all meaning was being rendered meaningless by being infinitely mutable. He called this phenomena the procession of simulacra. Simulcra and Simulation delineates the sign order in 4 stages. You know, I had those stages. The stages. Jean Piaget. I had to learn it. It'll pass. Okay. 1. The first stage is a faithful image or copy where we believe, and it may even be correct, that a sign is a reflection of a profound reality. This is a good appearance in what Baudrillard called the sacramental order. 2. The second stage is perversion of reality. This is where we come to believe the sign to be an unfaithful copy which masks and denatures reality as an evil appearance. It is the order of maleficence. Here, signs and images do not faithfully reveal reality to us, but can hint at the existence of an obscure reality which the sign itself is incapable of encapsulating. 3. The third stage masks the absence of a profound reality, where the sign pretends to be a faithful copy, but it is a copy with no original. Signs and images claim to represent something real, like Donald Trump, but no representation is taking place, and arbitrary images are merely suggested as things which they have no relationship to. Baudrillard calls this the order of sorcery, a regime of semantic algebra where all human meaning is conjured artificially to appear as a reference to the increasingly hermetic truth. 4. The fourth stage is pure simulacrum, in which the simulacrum has no relationship to any reality whatsoever. Here, signs merely reflect other signs. And any claim to reality on the part of images or signs is only of the order of other such claims. This is a regime of total equivalency, where cultural products need no longer even pretend to be real in a naive sense, because the experiences of consumers' lives are so predominantly artificial that even claims to reality are expected to be phrased in artificial, hyper-real terms. Any naive pretension to reality as such is perceived as bereft of critical self-awareness, and thus is over-sentimental. Degrees. Simulcra and Simulation identifies 3 types of simulacra and identifies each with a historical period. The first order, number 1, associated with the pre-modern period, where representation is clearly an artificial placemaker for the real item. The uniqueness of objects and situations marks them as irreproducibly real, and signification obviously gropes towards this reality. 2. Second order, associated with the modernity of the Industrial Revolution, where distinctions between representation and reality break down due to the proliferation of mass reproducible copies of items, turning them into commodities. The commodity's ability to imitate reality threatens to replace the authority of the original version. Hey, you seen those new nativity scenes that they got at Walmart for Christmas? There's a sale. Check them out. You gotta get one. It's got the 3 wise men and all that stuff. The manger, yeah. Because the copy is just as real as its prototype. 3. Third order, associated with the postmodernity of late capitalism, where simulacrum precedes the original, and the distinction between reality and representation vanishes. There is only the simulation, and originality becomes a totally meaningless concept. Think about it. Phenomena. Baudrillard theorizes that the lack of distinctions between reality and simulacra originates in several phenomena. 1. Contemporary media, including television, film, print, and the internet, which are responsible for blurring the line between products that are needed in order to live a life and the products for which a need is created by commercial images. 2. Exchange value, in which the value of goods is based on money, literally denominated fiat currency, rather than usefulness, and moreover usefulness comes to be quantified and defined in monetary terms in order to assist exchange. 3. Multinational capitalism, which separates produced goods from the plants, minerals, and other original materials and the processes, including their people and their cultural context, used to create them. 4. Urbanization, which separates humans from the non-human world and recenters culture around productive throughput systems so large they cause alienation. 5. Language and ideology, in which language increasingly becomes caught up in the production of power relations between social groups, especially when powerful groups institute themselves at least partly in monetary terms. analogies. A specific analogy that Baudrillard uses is a fable derived from On Exactitude in Science by Jorge Luis Borges. In it, a great empire created a map that was so detailed that it was as large as the empire itself. The actual map was expanded and destroyed as the empire itself conquered or lost territory. When the empire crumbled, all that was left was the map. In Baudrillard's rendition, it is conversely the map that people live in, the simulation of reality where the people of empire spend their lives, ensuring their place in the representation is properly circumscribed and detailed by the map makers. Conversely, it is reality that is crumbling away from disuse or abuse, as the case may be. Yeah. The transition from signs which dissimulate something to signs which dissimulate that there is nothing marks the decisive turning point. The first implies a theology of truth and secrecy to which the notion of ideology still belongs. The second inaugurates an age of simulcra and simulation in which there is no longer any God to recognize his own, nor any last judgment to separate truth from false, the real from its artificial resurrection, since everything is already dead and risen in advance. There's that Catholicism poking through with a Frenchie. Yeah. Hey! When Baudrillard refers to the procession of Simulcra and Simulation, he is referring to the way Simulcra has come to precede the real in the sense mentioned above, rather than to any succession of historical phases of the image. Referring to On Exactitude in Science, he argued that just as for contemporary society the simulated copy had superseded the original object, so too the map had come to precede the geographic territory. Map-territory relation. Take a look at that. Yeah. Example given, the first Gulf War, which Baudrillard later uses in object demonstration. The image of war preceded real war. War comes not when it is made by sovereign against sovereign, not when killing or attritive and strategic neutralization purposes is authorized, nor even, properly spoken, when shots are fired. Rather, war comes when society is generally convinced that it's coming. Henceforth, it is the map that precedes the territory, procession of Simulcra. It is the map that engenders the territory, and if we were to revive the fable today, it would be the territory whose shreds are slowly rotting across the map. Yeah, like Iraq. Yeah. It's kind of horrible when you think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the next inimitable episode of the section of the chapter of stuff from the Reading Cow from Another World with bedtime stories thing show that this is. Until next time, join us again then and stuff. Until then, goodbye.